From translation, Net New English Translation, this 121 day of the year, today we are reading passages 1 Chronicles 3-5, 1 Chronicles chapter 3, verses 1 to 24. These were the sons of David who were born to him in Hebron. The oldest was Amnon, born to Ahinoam of Jezreel. The second was Daniel, born to Abigail of Carmel. The third was Absalom, whose mother was Maacah, daughter of Talmah king of Geshur. The fourth was Adonijah, whose mother was Haggith. The fifth was Shephatiah, whose mother was Abital. The sixth was Ithream, whose mother was Eglah, David's wife. These 6 sons were born to David in Hebron, where he reigned for 7 years and 6 months. He reigned in Jerusalem for 33 years. These were the sons born to him in Jerusalem: Shimea, Shobab, Nathan, and Solomon. These 4 were born to him by Bathsheba, daughter of Ammiel. There were also Ibhar, Elishua, Eliphelet, Nogah, Nepheg, Japhia, Elishama, Eliada, and Eliphelet, 9 sons in all. All these were David's sons, with the exception of the sons of his concubines. Tamar was their sister. Solomon's son was Rehoboam, Abijah his son, Asa his son, Jehoshaphat his son, Joram his son, Ahaziah his son, Joash his son, Amaziah his son, Azariah his son, Jotham his son, Ahaz his son, Hezekiah his son, Manasseh his son, Ammon his son, Josiah his son. Josiah's sons, Johanan, Jehoiakim, Zedekiah, and Shallum. Jehoiakim's son, Jehoiachin, his son, Zedekiah. The sons of Josiah: Johanan was the firstborn, Jehoiakim the second, Zedekiah the third, and Shallum the fourth. The sons of Jehoiakim: Jehoiachin was his firstborn, his second was Zedekiah. The other Jehoiachin, Zedekiah, and their sisters are not listed here. The sons of Jehoiachin: Shealtiel his son, Malchiram, Pedaiah, Shenazar, Jechamiah, Hoshama, and Nedabiah. The sons of Pedaiah: Zerubbabel and Shimei. Zerubbabel's sons, Meshullam and Hananiah. Shelemith was their sister. There were 5 sons of Hananiah: Shemaiah, Hashubah, Ohel, Berechiah, and Azrikam. The sons of Meshullam: Hashubah, Ohel, Berechiah, Jada. The sons of Hashubah: Jeshua. The sons of Pedaiah: Zerubbabel and Shimei. The sons of Zerubbabel: Meshullam and Hananiah, and Shelemith their sister. 5 of his sons: Hashubah, Ohel, Berechiah, Jada, and Eni. The sons of Hananiah: Pelasha and Jeshiah. His sons: Raphiah, Arnan, and Obadiah, his son. Shechaniah: the sons of Shechaniah: Shemaiah. The sons of Shemaiah: Hattush, Igal, Bariah, Neariah, and Shaphat, 6 of them. The sons of Neariah: Elionai, Hiskiah, and Azrikam, 3 of them. The sons of Elionai: Hodaviah, Eliashib, Peliah, Akub, Johanan, Deliah, and Anani, 7 of them. 1 Chronicles chapter 4, verses 1 to 43. The descendants of Judah: Perez, Hezron, Carmi, Hur, and Shobal. Reiah was Shobal's son, and Reiah's son was Jahath. Jahath was the ancestor of the Zorathites and the Eshtolites. These were the sons of Etam: Jezreel, Ishma, and Idbash. Their sister was named Hazalelponi. Penuel was the ancestor of Jedor, and Ezer was the ancestor of Husha. These were the descendants of Hur, the firstborn of Ephrathah and the ancestor of Bethlehem. Asher, the father of Tekoa, had 2 wives, Hela and Nara. Nara bore him Ahazam, Hefer, Temeni, and Ahahash. These were the sons of Nara. The sons of Hela were Zereth, Izhar, Ethnan, and Keldash. Keldash was the ancestor of Tekoa. Koz was the ancestor of Anub, Hatzobah, and the clans of Ahahel son of Haram. Jabez was more honored than his brothers. His mother named him Jabez because she said, "I gave birth to him in pain." Jabez cried out to the God of Israel, "If only you would bless me and extend my borders. May your hand be with me and keep me from harm so that I will be free from pain." And God granted his request. Kelub, Shemai's brother, was the ancestor of Mehir, who was the ancestor of Eshton. Eshton was the ancestor of Beit Rapha, Paser, and Tehinnah. Tehinnah was the ancestor of Nahash. These were the descendants of Rechab. The sons of Kenaz: Othniel and Sariah. The sons of Othniel: Hasath and Meonotai. Meonotai was the ancestor of Ophrah. Sariah was the ancestor of Joab, who was the ancestor of Harashim, a group who were expert craftsmen. The sons of Caleb son of Jephunneh: Uru, Elah, and Naam. Elah's son was Kenaz. The sons of Jehalelel: Ziz, Zipha, Tiria, and Asael. The sons of Ezra: Jether, Merd, Epher, and Jalon. Merd's wife was Bithiah, daughter of Pharaoh. She gave birth to Miriam, Shammai, and Ishba, the ancestor of Eshtemoa. His wife Jehudijah gave birth to Jerd, who was the ancestor of Jedor, Heber, who was the ancestor of Soko, and Jekathiel, who was the ancestor of Zano. These were the descendants of Pharaoh's daughter Bithiah, whom Merd married. The sons of Hodiah's wife, the sister of Nahum, were the fathers of Caleb the Garmite and Eshtemoa the Markathite. The sons of Shimon: Amnon, Rinah, Ben-Hanan, and Tilon. The descendants of Ishi: Zoeth and Ben-Zoeth. The sons of Shelah: the father of Lecah, Lada the father of Maasha, and the clans of the linen workers at Beit Ashbia. The sons of Jabez: The son of his father was Jabez, who was more honored than his brothers. His mother named him Jabez, saying, I gave birth to him in pain. The sons of Rechab, the son of his father was Rechab, who was the ancestor of the Rechabites, the descendants of Simeon, Nemuel, Jamin, Jarib, Zerah, and Shaul. Shallum his son, Mibsam his son, Mishma his son, and his son Hamuel the father of the Zorathites. Shimei's sons, Jemuel, Jamin, Jarib, Ziziah, and Shaul. Shimei had 16 sons and 6 daughters, but his brothers did not have many children, so their entire clan did not become as numerous as the Judahites. They lived in Beersheba, Moladah, Hazar-Shual, Bilhah, Ezem, Tolad, and Bethuel. They also lived in Hormah, Ziklag, Beit Markaboth, and Hazar-Susam, and in Beit Biri and at Shaaraim. They had settlements in all these locations until David's reign. Their settlements extended as far as Gedor, east of the valley, to find pasture for their flocks. These were the men who traveled from the Simonite tribe, leaders. Jeuel his son Ishmaiah, and his sons, Jehuel, Zebediah, Maaseiah, Joel, Jehu, and Janiah. They were listed as heads of their families in the genealogical records of Simeon's descendants. They went to the entrance of Gedor, on the east side of the valley, looking for pasture for their flocks. They found rich, good pasture, and the land was spacious, peaceful, and prosperous. Some Hamites had been living there previously. The men whose names are listed came during the days of King Hezekiah of Judah and attacked the Hamite settlements and the Munites, completely destroying them and settling in their place, because there was pasture there for their flocks. 500 of these Simonites, led by Pelasha, Neariah, Raphiah, and Uzziel, the sons of Ishi, went to Mount Seir. They killed the remaining Amalekites who had escaped, and they have lived there to this day. So these men, listed by name, came to Gedor during the reign of King Hezekiah of Judah and attacked the Hamite settlements and the Munites, completely destroying them and settling in their place, because there was pasture there for their flocks. They killed some of the people who escaped from the sword, and they lived there to this day. These men, listed by name, became leaders of their clans in their ancestral villages. 1 Chronicles chapter 5, verses 1 to 26. The sons of Reuben, Israel's firstborn. Though he was the firstborn, his birthright was given to the sons of Joseph, for Reuben defiled his father's bed. So he is not listed as the firstborn in the genealogical records. Though Judah became more powerful than his brothers and a ruler came from him, the birthright belonged to Joseph, the sons of Reuben. Hanok, Pulu, Hezron, and Carmi, the sons of Joel, Shemaiah, his son's son Gog, his son Shimei, his son Micah, his son Rehob, his son Shammah, his son Shemaiah. The sons of Shemaiah, Jathon, Shaphat, Ozer, and Shaul, the son of a Canaanite woman. The sons of Bruch, Jael, Zechariah, and Bela, Beraz's son, whom King Tiglath-Pileser of Assyria took into exile. He was a leader of the Reubenites. His brothers, Bela, Adar, and Zechariah. His son, Bela Jael, was the head of their ancestral households in Aroer. They lived in the eastern region of Gilead, from the entrance of the desert of Hava to the Euphrates River, because their livestock had multiplied in the land of Gilead. During the reign of Saul, they waged war against the Hagrites and were defeated. They lived in their tents throughout the entire region east of Gilead. The sons of Gad lived next to them in the land of Bashan, as far as Saalka, Joel the chief, Shaphat the second, and Janai and Shaphat in Bashan, their relatives according to their ancestral households. Michael, Meshullam, Sheba, Jorai, Jachin, Zia, and Eber, 7 of them. These were the sons of Abihail son of Huri, son of Jarro, son of Gilead, son of Michael, son of Jeshishai, son of Joha, son of Shocha, son of Appa, son of Shaphan. Their relative was Ahi son of Abdiel, son of Guni, who was the head of their ancestral households. They lived in Gilead, in Bashan and its surrounding villages, and in all the pasturelands of Sharon as far as their borders. All these were listed in the genealogical records during the reign of King Jotham of Judah and King Jeroboam of Israel. The Reubenites, Gadites, and half-tribe of Manasseh had valiant warriors, who carried shields and swords, drew bows, and were trained for battle 44,760 warriors, ready for military service. They waged war against the Hagrites, Jeter, Naphish, and Nodab. They were helped in fighting them, and God handed the Hagrites and all their allies over to them, because they cried out to him during the battle. God answered their prayers because they trusted in him. They seized their livestock. 50,000 camels, 250,000 sheep, 2,000 donkeys, and 100,000 captives. Many fell in battle because the war was of God. They occupied the land until the exile. The half-tribe of Manasseh settled in the land. They were numerous in the land of Bashan as far as Baal Hermon, Senir, and Mount Lebanon. These were the heads of their families: Ephah, Ishi, Eliel, Azriel, Jeremiah, Hodaviah, and Jardiel. They were brave warriors, famous men, and heads of their ancestral households. They were unfaithful to the God of their ancestors. They prostituted themselves with the gods of the nations of the land whom God had driven out from before them. So the God of Israel stirred up the spirit of King Pul of Assyria, that is, Tiglath-Pileser, and the spirit of his successor, King Tilgath-Pilser. He carried the Reubenites, Gadites, and half-tribe of Manasseh into exile. He took them to Halah, Habah, Hara, and the river Gozan, where they remain to this day.